Alright, what's going on, party people? This is your man Grill out here heading to a signing. Hey, I have to apologize, sorry y'all, I've been sort of MIA. Been trying to put some videos out, but our notary buddies here on YouTube, a lot of y'all been needing help, so I've been on the phone, Zoom meetings, all of that, helping people out, going over documents, answering questions when they're at the table, all of that. So a lot of times that's during the evening. Plus, again, I'm still trying to, calling everybody back who's reached out to me. So if for any reason you have not heard from me, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's because I probably forgot. And I've been, as soon as I sit down to try to call one person, like I was going to call a gentleman last night and got his phone number, and I had to help two people out, and I don't make no, I'm not upset about that. That's what I'm here for and everything. So I'm trying to manage it. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to put in the community tab as soon as I can. I'm going to put in a Google number so people can call and leave messages there for me. And those of you who do have my phone number, feel free to text me or what have you. But if I have not reached back out to you, gotten with you, for any reason, for anything that you needed, just hit me back up. I have not forgotten you. I just probably haven't, or maybe I have forgotten to call, but not forgotten that I needed to call you. I just haven't been able to get it done. But I also wanted to talk real quick on my way to this signing about some of the
2 miles, take exit 291B for Virginia.
Some of the issues that people have been running into during the signing, and it's small issues. To me, they're small issues, but I know they're big to them. But it's repeated. I'm seeing it happen with a lot of people. So one of the first issues is the U.S. Patriot Act. The U.S. Patriot Act comes in about 5 or 6 different flavors, from 2 sections of IDs to get, to having 1 form of ID, to having 2 forms of IDs you need. There's even a form out there where you actually have to have the borrower sign it and you notarize it. I've only seen that 2 or 3 times. Don't see that one that often. And a lot of it is getting confusing to people. And the main thing that's happening is, instead of the notary signing it, they're having the borrower sign as a person who certified the ID. And from my understanding, and no one has ever told me different, we're supposed to be the ones to fill that out, not the customer, as well as we're supposed to be the ones to sign it. So notaries are having the actual borrower sign that document. And if you notice, if you got 2 borrowers and there's only 1 signature line there, so it doesn't make sense to have them. I'm sorry, I'm thinking something else. They're having them sign on each individual one. I was thinking of a different document also at the same time. So, they have them signing that document when they really shouldn't be. You're the notary. You're supposed to be filling it out and signing it. So that's one thing. So don't have them sign it. You sign it. I don't know what I was thinking just then, but that's one of the problems. What I was thinking about also, y'all, is that last night I saw a document, a notary identification document, where you're putting down John Jones's identity information off of his card, and then they have his name and his wife's name on the identity verification document that he's supposed to be signing for himself, but they got him and his wife's name on there, and the same thing for her stuff. And to be honest, on that document, and I'm gonna have to find a way to show y'all, because they want you to put your stamp on this document, and it's not even an acknowledgement. It's actually just saying you certify that the information from their IDs is what's supposed to be up there. And it's similar to the Patriot Act form. It just doesn't say Patriot Act. And it's the form that you put your E&O insurance information on. Well, a lot of notaries don't put their stamp on that because it's like you're notarizing your own stamp. But what they have done is they've gotten slick and said, oh, okay, we'll put a signature line for the borrower to sign. But in all honesty, you still don't need to notarize that because the language in there is not an acknowledgement. It is just certifying that, hey, I saw the information off the ID and what I put up there is accurate. It's not saying that you acknowledge that they're, that this is the person. There's nothing for them to acknowledge or to sign off on, but they stick their name on there and they got both their names on there. So I hope y'all can follow me on that. If not, hit me up and I'll explain it in more detail. Another issue is people are having a hard time understanding whether or not the borrowers should even sign a document. A couple of times I've been called and people said, well, do they need to sign? I've even talked to people before, they're doing the signing, getting prepped for it. And because for whatever reason, they're like, well, do they need to sign this? I'm like, their name is on there. Why wouldn't they need to sign it? And most of the time I was just checking. And I think most of the notary coaches teach this. People who train or notary trainers teach this. When you are in doubt, ask yourself why. If you're saying they should sign this, okay, then why should they sign this? If you're saying they shouldn't sign this, then you need to ask yourself, why shouldn't they sign this? And a lot of times it's just, well, I don't think they need to sign this. Well, why don't they? I just didn't think they did need to. You need to be clear on that because keeping in mind, if you don't have them sign something and the title company comes back and say, hey, why didn't you have them sign it? You're going to have to give them a reason why. And a lot of people are like, well, I just didn't think so. Okay, that's not going to be good enough for the title company or the escrow company or that loan officer or the signing company. So just because it seemed confusing to you, you didn't quite understand the document, is not a reason not to have somebody sign it, even though their name is on the document. Another thing that's been happening is people have been not stamping the documents. So they'll sign, they'll do the acknowledgement, and then they won't put their stamp on there. And the reason why is because the word stamp or seal isn't there on the acknowledgement, in the acknowledgement area. It just says, the name and just this blank area. So because that blank area is there and there's the word stamp isn't there, they won't stamp it. And that's not how it goes. You're supposed to stamp it. You're supposed to put your stamp there. And that is, I guess, to them, common knowledge, or we should have been trained that way. Now, at this point, many of you are probably saying, well, see, that's why they need to go to training. That's why they need to take this person course or that person course, ... The truth to be told, everybody who I've talked to has gone through some kind of training. So anybody who you're thinking of that you went through training, whatever training you went through, one of the people who I've talked to has gone through that training. They've gone through that training. The problem is when people get psyched up, they get nervous, they get scared. Things are, it's that first and second signing, and they get that notary tunnel vision that I talked about. And then if the document is coming back looking a little different than what you originally seen in your training, the wording, the place, the placement of stuff. There was one young lady, and she ended up doing real good with it. Her document basically had an oath in it, basically in an acknowledgement, just saying, this person is personally known to me, or did an oath, there was on the oath of, basically talking about a credible witness, or through, ID, and it had all these different variations of what way that person was verified, and it threw her off to the point where she was like, I don't know which one to choose. And there's a couple of times where people did not fill in the person's name. So it'll say on this date, whatever the date is, before me, by, and they wouldn't, and then you have these lines here, you got to put their name there in that acknowledgement by John Jones and Jane Jones, and people aren't doing that. So people are more focused on, let me just get through, stamp, stamp, stamp. And I'm begging y'all, stop rushing. Stop rushing through these signings. I know some of these companies are just calling y'all, trying to get y'all to hurry up and do it in 15 minutes and 30 minutes. Y'all hear all these people on YouTube bragging about they're doing it in, in microseconds and all of that. I'm telling you, don't get caught up in that. Just take your time and do these signings correctly. Just slow down, relax, and just do these signings correctly, because what's happening is people are making major mistakes. In some cases, not all of them. Well, they're making mistakes. Let me put it this way. The mistakes they're making can turn into a major issue, because the people are like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. And in all honesty, I believe most people do know what they're supposed to do, but they're stressed and they're feeling the pressure and they're worried that they might get blacklisted and they don't want to make a mistake. And then people's brains start shutting down. You got to relax, breathe, call your notary buddy, whoever that man or woman is. If you have my contact information, hit me up. But in all honesty, when I've talked to most of the people, really all of them, they actually, as we go through it, end up figuring it out. They end up figuring it out and like, oh, got it. And what it is just a high level of anxiety that's there, and you're getting stressed, and it's like, I don't know what to do. And in all honesty, you do, because every person has gone through some level of training, and it's just what I honestly believe is that people are looking for everything to be 100% spelled out. To say, this is where he signs, this is where she signs, this is where I stamp, this is where I sign, this is where we date. And you got to put a little brain power to it to actually read, ask yourself, what is this document asking me to do? Or what is the acknowledgement section asking me to do? And the document, because if the document says affidavit, more like you got to do a swearing. And that's another thing. A lot of people aren't notarizing the affidavits. You have to notarize the note, and they have the section on there for you to notarize them. But a lot of people are like, okay, well, what do I do with this? Notarize the affidavits. A lot of people are just focusing on the deed, and some signature affidavits. But then there's other affidavits, property affidavits, survey affidavit, several different name affidavits. I mean, they come in all kind of flavors. And anything that's an affidavit basically has to be notarized. So you go ahead on and do that. So I need y'all to just relax. Trust me, you can do this. It is not as hard as you think it is. It can be stressful, but it's not hard. Just because something is stressful doesn't mean that it's hard. There's people out here who can help you. So if you need us, feel free to contact me. I don't know what else to say except just relax, and believe in yourself. I personally believe in you. I personally believe that each one of you can do this here, this role as a notary, and as a notary signing agent / loan signing agent / signing agent that does loans / notary that does loan, or however you want to call it. You can do this. So I just need y'all to relax, chill out, stay focused, and you're going to be just fine. But hit me up in the comments, ask any questions. Again, if I do not get back with you right away, it's not because I'm ignoring you or ducking or hiding from you. It's just there's a lot of notaries out here who need help, who don't quite understand certain things, that are nervous. They're nervous, with their first one. Some people are getting easy first assignments, and then some people are getting some pretty difficult ones. With a lot of documents, with a lot of stuff in there. And lastly, a lot of people are stressing and having some anxiety over the fact that they're getting assigned a document, an assignment, a loan closing, and the documents aren't coming right away. And they might be 2 days out, 3 days out, might even be a week out. And you're waiting for the docs, and then the documents coming at a time that you personally don't feel that you would like them to come. But that's a part of this business. Don't stress over that. Just know that, yeah, they say, hey, we'll assign this to you for next Tuesday at 5 in the afternoon, and then you're looking for the documents to be there so you can have this whole weekend to look them over. That might not happen, okay? You might not get them till Monday night, Tuesday morning, or just 30 minutes before. And that's why I always share with you, knowing your schedule, being ready to go when the opportunity comes up. You're not going to have the opportunity to just sit around and spend 2-3 days looking at docs. You're not going to be getting booked for 5 or 6 or 10 closings and then have this room full of documents sitting, where you got a room full of documents sitting there for the next, for the 15 signings you got, and you got these documents 3 days or 5 days ahead of time, and then you can just take your time and go through each set. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So just take a breath and just go out here and do it to the best of your ability, and connect with people who you can call on and ask for help. And if you're a notary out here who has been doing this for some time and you can assist and help somebody out, make yourself available so that people can get help. It's not hard. It's just opening up your heart and just saying, hey, I'm here. Give me a call. Answer a question. If you can't answer it, then okay, now you need to go to the title, signing company, or what have you. But as notaries, we got to be able to help each other out, or it's going to be bad on the whole industry, because people, not that they can't do it, but because they're so stressed and they're so, got this anxiety that it makes it look like they can't do it and all that. So that's all I got, people. I'm going to find me something to eat from around this place around here somewhere, throw in my stomach before I go do this signing. But that's it, y'all. Sorry about all this. Seems like I'm distracted because I'm hungry. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.